Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the orientation session organized by St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva, on reconfiguring the culture of innovation under the auspices of MIC's Mentor-Mentee program for IIC institutions. The objective of Mentor-Mentee scheme is to engage high-performing IIC institutions to act as mentor to the IIC institutions, those who are in need of guidance and support. This training program will help IIC institutions to facilitate knowledge exchange and resource mobilization between institutions by offering inter-institutional collaborations. We, St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva, are extremely delighted to lend our hands to Marthoma College for Women, Perumbavoor, to streamline and strengthen the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem. Now, I invite Dr. Rashmi Burgess, Innovation Ambassador of St. Xavier's College, for the welcome speech.
Good morning, everyone. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Well, if nothing changes, we stay the same. We don't grow, we don't evolve, we don't get better. And that's not going to work, not for you and not for the world. We need positive change. We need new ideas, we need progress. And we have gathered here virtually to unravel new horizons on innovation ecosystem. We have started our innovation journey by arranging an online session on the topic Reconfiguring the Culture of Innovation of IIC institutions. Today, my duty is to welcome the dignitaries to this virtual gathering. First of all, let me wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Xavier, Principal of St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva, and Dr. Sujo Mary Verghese, Principal of Marthoma College for Women, Perumbavoor, to this meeting. Next, I welcome Dr. Sister Stella K.A., IIC President and Vice Principal of St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva, and Dr. Rajani Jacob, who is the IIC President and Mentor-Mentee Scheme Coordinator of Marthoma College for Women, Perumbavoor. I also take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Shibavi Rajan, who is the Mentor-Mentee Scheme Coordinator and Innovation Ambassador of St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva. I am happy to welcome today's resource person, Ms. Sonia John Markose, who is the Innovation Ambassador and Social Media Champion of St. Xavier's College, Aluva. I also welcome the IIC conveners and IIC members of both the colleges to this meeting. Before winding up, I wish all the success to this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi Miss.
Now I invite Dr. Shibavi Rajan to introduce IIC activities of St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva.
St. Xavier's College for Women, Aluva, has received a mark of recognition for its countless efforts towards innovation and entrepreneurship. Institution's Innovation Council was established in the year 2019 under the Ministry of Education in collaboration with All India Council for Technical Education, with the objective of promoting and advancing innovative practices among higher educational institutions. The efforts of the council, headed by the principal, Dr. Sister Xavier, IIC President, Dr. Sister Stella K.A., IIC conveners, Dr. Revati and Ms. Jonas V.S., 18 innovation ambassadors from various disciplines, and student representatives have resulted in the development of innovation culture in the college, focusing on ideation, proof of concept development, design thinking, intellectual property, hackathons, My Story session, and many more. We have also received approval from Kerala Startup Mission to initiate the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. We received 5-star rating for the activities organized during the IIC calendar year 2019-20 and bagged 4-star, highest for the IIC 3.0 period for the IIC calendar year 2020-21. To earn this ranking, the college strictly follows IIC calendar activities, MIC-driven and self-driven initiatives, ensuring the active engagement of the students and faculty in innovation, entrepreneurship, and intellectual property rights. Our students won first for state-level hackathon ED Club Conclave at Light 2020, organized by Industrial Department. Won first prize for the Upcycle Design Challenge contest organized by Samrambhak Mitra and Textile Value Chain. Won second and third prizes for state-level design challenge competition conducted by Samrambhak Mitra and NIFT. We also received Certificate of Recognition in the band Performer under the category General Non-Technical in Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievement 2021 by Ministry of Education. We have been striving forward to accelerate the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in our campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shiba.
Now, I invite our resource person, Ms. Sonia John Markose, Innovation Ambassador and Social Media Champion of St. Xavier's College for Women, to lead the session. Sonia, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. So, hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Well, a very good morning to one and all present here. I'm so happy to be a part of this Mentee scheme. First of all, I would like to thank our IIC President, Dr. Sister Stella, and convener, Dr. Revati, for this opportunity. And we all know that you are familiar with IIC and its function, as it is the first session in our mentor-mentee scheme. It is mandatory to talk about a little bit about MIC, IIC, and its functions. So we would like to start this session with what is IIC. So MIC, that everybody knows, okay, Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. It is established to systematically foster an innovation culture in all higher education institutions. So basically our purpose is to foster the innovation culture in our colleges. And the primary aim of Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell is to encourage, inspire, and nurture young students by assisting them in working with new ideas and transforming them into prototype, at least to prototypes during their educational years. So ideas and prototyping of the same. Now the major focus of IIC to create a vibrant local innovation ecosystem and startup supporting mechanism in higher education institutions, and prepare the institution for Atal ranking of institution. Like when you do these activities on time, you can actually be a part of this Atal ranking of institution. It won't be difficult for you to be part of this Atal ranking. And establishing a function ecosystem for scouting ideas and pre-incubation of ideas. So that we need to provide to our students. So that is the major focus of IIC. And the major functions of IIC, when it comes to the functions of IIC, to carry out various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities as directed by the MIC, then identify and reward innovation and share the success stories, and organize workshops, seminars, interaction with entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals on a regular basis, so that you can create a pool of student innovators. Of course, you are, most of you are innovation ambassadors, and you are the primary mentors for your students. So, but you can have a lot of people from outside, especially entrepreneurs and innovators, that will help your, students to, they will have an easy access to all this information related to innovation, entrepreneurship, and connect to other entrepreneurs, National Entrepreneurship Development Organization. And the next important thing is create your institution's innovation portal to highlight your activities, especially projects undertaken by the faculty, students at the institution, and organize hackathons, idea competitions, melee challenges, etc. So you are familiar with all the IIC activities, okay? So you can categorize the IIC activities into three types. One is IIC calendar activities, the second one is MIC-driven activities, and the third one is self-driven activity. And recently they have incorporated one more, that is celebration day-driven activities. And when it comes to these activities, you can see that the weightage, IIC calendar driven activities, they have more weightage than the other activities. And of course, self-driven activities are important, and MIC driven activities are also important. And your president and your convener, they are familiar with all these activities. And others also, everybody has to familiarize with these activities. That is very important. Okay, so the first one is IIC calendar activities, that everybody knows, we all know. It's basically an annual activity calendar of IIC. Okay, so each quarter you have to have 3 activities, and that have to be completed. Then only you will receive the full score. So you have to have at least minimum 3 activities in a quarter. And MIC driven activity, that is MIC schedules various activities from time to time on its own, and collaboration with other partnering organization and with sometimes with the government departments. And these activities also, it is listed, it will appear in your IIC portal, and you have to act accordingly. And activities, driven activities, that is very important. See, all the IICs, like ours and yours, are encouraged to plan more activities apart from this IIC activities. Why we need to promote innovation in our campuses? Okay, that is very important. And we can have collaboration with other agencies. We story sessions, you can conduct workshops, you can have, it's up to you, it is your idea. Again, innovation, that also. So if you conduct such innovative activities in this self-driven activity, it can begin for more. If you have again 3 activities, self-driven. So you have to take initiative.
Sonia, Miss. Sonia, ma'am, your voice is breaking. No.
That's how. Excuse me, am I audible?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so hope you have heard what I said, like all the 3 activities in our calendar. Okay, then the last one, recently they have introduced something called Celebration Day activities. That is the recent activities that MIC has introduced this calendar year, that is IIC 4.0. And here you can take a celebration, like you observe this day of observance and all, in your college, like that you can select any day, days which are dedicated to science, innovation, entrepreneurship, IPR, or environment, and you can conduct some programs related to that. So that is actually a prescribed list is there, but still you can have your own ideas and you can incorporate your own ideas and you can conduct this program. Okay, so these are the 4 major activities. So everybody should know about all these activities. So these are the 4 activities usually done by the IIC in a higher education institution. Next is innovation ambassador. I think most of you are innovation ambassador, like 4 or 5 from your college. Teachers are innovation ambassador. So at least you know what is the duty of an innovation ambassador. So who is basically an innovation ambassador? Can anyone tell me who is basically an innovation ambassador? Okay, so actually what happened, considering the fact that Indian higher education institutions are lacking innovation and startup mentor capacity, this Ministry of Education, they tried to kind of, build this mentorship capacity. They wanted to build this mentorship capacity for IIC members. So they have introduced a series of training program, like both offline and online program. And those trained professionals will be known as IIC Innovation Ambassadors. So you are all trained people. And so basically, what do? I mean, what an innovation ambassador does. So perform the role of mentor in your institution. So you are an innovation mentor in your institution, and you provide support to other IICs as resource person, like you don't have expertise in IPR or incubation, so you can actually seek the help from other IICs, so they will help you. And if you have expertise in something, of course you can give your hand to those IICs. So it will kind of, it will create something called an innovation culture everywhere. So basically what you do, you spread the message of innovation and startup among the students and faculty members. So everybody in your institution should know about what innovation and entrepreneurship. It is not like earlier, like 10 days back, 10 years back or something, if somebody asks you what is innovation or what is startup, you just think for a second, right, to answer that question. So now, so you should change that scenario. You should change that scenario, and you should tell your students, everybody, all faculty members in your college should come to know about this innovation and startup. So everybody should know about innovation and startup. And there are 4 themes. Actually, MIC has given 4 themes. So basically, we work on these 4 themes, and innovation ambassador, this thing is given under these 4 themes. One is design thinking and innovation. Second one is IPR and technology transfer. Third one is pre-incubations and incubation. Fourth one is management entrepreneurship development program. So these are all the main titles for these innovation ambassadors. So what is your role? So that's this is actually the main focus of my presentation or my seminar today. So what is your role in this? In reconfiguring or in nurturing the innovation culture in your institution. Okay, so I would say you are mentor ambassadors. So you need to tell everybody to all those, so you can motivate people, you can advise, you can actually give them support them, you can them to set goal. So you are mentor ambassadors here. So this is actually this this in front of a retail shop. Okay, so this is close for not related to innovation. A retail shop in
Sonia,
Kochi.
miss,
When they went, yes.
your voice is breaking.
Am I better now?
Ah, yes.
So what do you think about this particular banner which they have put up in front of a shop in Kochi? So what is do you have any opinion? Like, it's really interesting. And, I just stopped my vehicle there and I just, watched it for some time because I kind of, I like the concept, close for innovation and not renovation. So it is high time for us, especially for higher education institution, to, to actually impart the culture of innovation in our campus. So this is actually done by a retail outlet. Okay. So what is innovation basically? So can anyone tell me what is innovation? So we can be, I would like to have an interactive session rather than a kind of public speaking. So what do you think is innovation, or what does it mean to you? Can anyone tell me what is innovation? Anybody? Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Yeah. So, can anyone tell me what is innovation? Innovation, because you are all innovation ambassadors. You are part of IIC. New ideas and perspective. Okay, thank you, Serene ma'am. Then Vinod sir says new ideas for tomorrow. Oh, yeah, very good. Okay, so I'll show you a very small video that will tell you what innovation is all about. So hope you like the video. So very creative, very innovative video, right? Yeah. So am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So innovation is nothing, as our teacher said. There is a way to do it better. Like Thomas Alva Edison said. It's like, there is always a way to do it better. So find that way. So that is basically, you can say in one sentence, you can say that is innovation. And so all these are, innovation. Innovation is something new, something different, something better, something cheaper. You do it at a different location, when you do it in a different time frame. All these things are innovation. So innovation is basically, it's a practical implementation of ideas that results in introduction of a new goods or services, or improvement in offering goods or services. So it can come from different new combinations also. Like, you can mix two products together and make a new product, and you can develop a new process, and you can, if you organize a business, already existing business, in a new way, then that is again innovation. Okay, so all these things are opening a new market. If you are identifying a new market, then that is again innovation. So all these things are innovation, and we often get confused with innovation and invention. That is another thing. Okay, innovation and invention, we always get confused. Okay. So what is basically, invention? Of course, invention can be the creation of a product or introduction of a new process for the first time. If it is for the first time, then you always call it an invention. But innovation, see, invention and innovations are always connected, okay? They are related, but they are not the same, okay? And innovation, on the other hand, occurs if someone improves or makes a significant contribution to an existing product, process, or service, then it is called innovation. So a very good example, Apple's iPhone. So like most of you, I don't know how many of you use Apple iPhone. At least you would have seen Apple iPhone. Many of you use Apple iPhone. At least one member in your family has iPhone. So Apple's this ubiquitous iPhone. Actually, what happened in that case? Okay, Apple, they took a stagnant product category, that is mobile phone category, and completely rethought. Okay, completely rethought, and how it could be actually used. So they took an existing product category, an existing technology, everything was existing, okay? Product was there, technology was the same, and they reshaped the product for the modern society. And their innovations in design and user interface sparked a tech revolution, you can say. Like, you always have, even though you have n number of phones there out in the market, you always like go, you say, iPhone is something different, it is best. You always say, why? Because it has created a kind of tech revolution. So if you take any of these products, okay, so you can see that, okay, if you take this, floppy disk, hope you remember floppy disk, and now we are using flash, and you had this pager, mobile phone, and you had snail mail, now the mail. See, everything like, the use, the technology, probably the use, it was the same, and like, it is still the same, but the product has changed, the product has developed, and that is very important. And when it comes to types of innovation, you have different types of innovation. Okay, that also you should know. There are different types of innovation. So first one is called a product innovation. So what is a product innovation? So this is an example for product innovation. Okay, so change in how product is noticed by the consumer, like basically the change in the physical structure of the product. Okay, so hope you remember the old phone with this small antenna and all. Then we had this what you call the Nokia 3300 phones, very common. Then came the BlackBerry, and that was supposed to be like people used to call it a business phone. Why? Because it had the keypad. The keypad has full this computer, this thing, keys there, and then you had this touch screen. So then comes no touch, nothing. You have face recognition, you have a voice recognition, fonts are there, so you don't have to even touch. Okay, so that is again, the development which happened in this mobile phone thing. And then again, why you need this change? Okay, product innovation, like, you can innovate, you have an existing product, you can innovate. Why? Because because again, the needs and demands of the customers. So the customer, especially, we are developing, the society is developing, of course, you need a change. And next is process innovation. That is again a complete process. Um, like a process is basically what you call, it's a combination of skills, technologies, procedures, and you have a lot of things come into something called a process. So a very good example is Henry Ford's invention of the world's first moving assembly line. So the process actually changed, not just the simplified vehicle assembly, but shorten the time. So earlier you wanted like 12 hours to assemble a car. Now it just takes only 90 minutes. So that is basically process innovation. And next you have service innovation. Service innovation, again, banks and all make use of this thing because they want, customer friendly bank, or, things like that. That's why they use these kinds of, innovation in banking and all, banking sector especially. And most of these private banks, if you take ICICI or HDFC, they have better these kinds of services than the nationalized bank in our country. If you take this ICICI or HDFC's banking, you earlier had this phone banking, then you have internet banking, now you have this just voice. You just need to give your voice, the banking with your voice. You can with the app you can do a hands-free banking these days. So that is again an innovation. Okay, so this innovation is basically a 5-step process. Okay, so first is imagining. Okay, so you need to imagine things, thinking about the new possibilities, making discoveries, especially probably you can say extending the existing ways. And next thing is imagining, next is designing. So once you imagine the thing, then you can design the thing. You have to test the idea, like as I said, prototypes. You have to create a model, an initial model, so that the people will understand. Then you can experiment. You can talk to people and you can get their feedback. Then you can assess, what are the strengths of that particular innovation, the weakness of that thing, and the cost, the benefit, and last the scaling, like how you can go and commercialize your innovation. How can you actually convert it to an actual product? So it all starts with something called an idea. As I said, idea is very, very important. So where do ideas come from? Okay, so it's a very nice graphic, right? It shows by chance you can get idea, then by luck, sometimes brainstorming, when you have a problem, you think, then you come up with an idea. Then sometimes an innocent remark from your friends or students. Then you can dream, really you want to create something, you can dream. Then mistakes, then of course the eureka moment. We all have experienced that. We'll be thinking and class will get a solution, then we will all be shouting eureka. So that is again, these are all where it is not you are developing an idea. It's by chance it just comes to you, the idea. Okay, so again the next point is startup. So from idea to startup, so first you should know what is a startup. So people always get, see, even our students, they don't know, startup, everybody says startup, innovation and all, but nobody exactly knows what it is. Okay, So startup is just a company, okay? It's a small company or a new company. It is, recently created one, okay? Or you can call it a temporary organization, and you're looking for a business model, okay? So mostly startup, they have this idea in their mind. They will, convert it into a kind of, a business. But the thing is that you always lack something called a business model. Okay, so business model is nothing but what you call, it's just an outline for your company to to make money, or the role of your product or services, everything put together, you can call a business idea. So it can be different ideas are there, like you can go and sell your product, you can franchise, you can have an advertising based thing. So there are different, if there are any commerce teachers, they would know, like you have different business models are there already. Traditional models are there, and also you have this new models available. Okay, so that is basically startup. Okay, so startups always, they look for an attractive business model. So there you have to help your student. So how can you? So this is just a simple diagram which will help you to understand how to start a startup, how to build a startup. So always live in the future. So living in the future, ahead of your time. Just don't think about today. Always think about the future, and always think what is missing in the society. Like what is missing there? Your requirements. So always think about that. Write it down. Make a prototype. Always a model. Okay, and you will be wondering, like arts colleges, arts and science colleges like us, how we do this prototyping and all. Okay, at least things related to science, you can do it in your labs and all. At least science teachers can help in an extent. Otherwise, you can have a tie-up with engineering colleges and other colleges. So you give them the idea, they will come up with the prototype. So you can have a kind of tie-up kind of a thing. And once your prototype is ready, once your idea, the model, the small model is ready, then you just show it to 100 people. You can just show it to your, IIC members and other people, or the pool of mentors, which I mentioned in the beginning of the session. Okay, so you can just show it to people, so they will tell you all these things, and you can give them the, as you are providing an ecosystem for your students. So just ask them to launch the product, let them start the product, and then, okay, you are not, it's just a startup. You are looking for probably investors, you are looking for business model and everything. But the thing is that you will get it. So the next step is always, like you go for funding. Okay, so there are, even for the student startup and all, there are, like you get funding from different organizations, and you can actually present these your ideas. Even you have ideathons where you can present your ideas, and if you have a kind of prototype kind of a thing, then go to hackathons, present your product, and you can get funding from there also. Like find out such opportunities, and um, explore those opportunities, and register your thing. That is very important. And if you want, you can find a co-founder, and you can again, you can work on the prototype, and you can again talk to more people. Okay, then grow, then at last you can convert your startup from a proper business or a product or whatever. So you can relaunch it again. So that is actually the process of something called startup. Okay, so next is, I have a few examples for you. Okay, these are the best startups that ever happened in India. And the interesting thing is, these people were so young when they started their these ventures. Okay, so Paytm. So hope you have heard about Paytm. So everybody uses the term Paytm. Okay, so we started hearing about Paytm during the demonetization and all, because they came up with the art saying Paytm karo, Paytm karo. So everybody kind of promoted that product. So this is basically Paytm is the acronym for Pay Through Mobile, And they established this company in 2010. Vijay Shekhar Sharma, he established this company in 2010. And they started as an e-commerce website. You know, e-commerce website. Now we are familiar with all these e-commerce websites and all. You buy, sell things using these e-commerce websites. So they started this online services, online payment services for this e-commerce website. Then they expanded. Then they realized the what you call um, the opportunity there, and they kind of extended their services. Like first they started with mobile phone recharge, DTH recharge, shopping bills, things like that. Then they provide a myriad of services. Even when you use your Google Pay and Phone Pay and things like that, like they are offering a lot of services. So next is Flipkart. Flipkart, everybody is familiar with Flipkart. So when they started, okay, so especially they started in 2007, okay, that time it was hard to imagine such a small company can completely transform into the way we shop. Okay, and e-commerce in 2007, it was not that very kind of, very developing kind of a segment of business at that time. And of course, there were iPhone during that time. Only iPhone introduced. Steve Jobs introduced iPhone. So again, smartphone. Again, the smartphone industry was developing at that time, and they realized that the opportunity for that particular product, and two software engineers, okay, Sachin Bansal and Benny Bansal, they realized or they noticed the changing dynamic of technology, and they realized the potential of this particular industry called e-commerce. And the funniest thing is that time we had just 50 million internet users in India. Okay, and there were no smartphone. Just Apple started introduced their iPhone. Okay, and that time they started this thing, and what happens today? Now India has over 570 million internet users, and shopping again increased significantly, especially online shopping. Now everybody buys, like especially us also during pandemic time and all, the shopping actually increased. So this mission, they're just these things actually developed to a number one e-commerce website in our country. And now they have 80 million products across 80 categories, and they reach out to at least 100 million customers. So this is very important. So the thing is that, so all these people are they had a vision, they had that thing in their mind. That's why they started it as a startup, and now they are kind of listed companies. And if you see that any service, if you take, like first you have to identify. See, there will be some disruption in all the sectors, all the fields. Okay. So earlier we had like disturbances or problems which interrupt the taxi services in our country. Like, so Uber came, Ola came. Yeah, now it's kind of solved, right? So earlier it was a mess, now it is not. And books, we had problems reading books, go to library, access all those problems. So you have Kindle. Now it is easy, you can access n number of books there. Again, disruption in hotel services, like everybody cannot afford Taj Hotel or Sheraton and all. So you have Oyo rooms. So we always face this problem like 10 years back or 5 years back. So now we have solution for all these things. See, Oyo is basically it's a business model. They don't own any hotels and all. Okay, so they have tie-up with different hotels and rooms, especially what you call. They have a tie-up with all these hotels and all, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities and all. So there you have difficulty in getting very good hotels and all. Okay, so again, affordability is another problem, especially when you go to a town and a decent place to stay is very important, right? So affordability, cleanliness, and availability of budget hotels, and this Oyo rooms actually kind of um, what do you call? They kind of changed the whole concept of these hotel resorts and things like that. Okay, and you had this disruption in eating places. You have Zomato, you have Food Panda, you have Swiggy. Then disruption in media, of course. Yeah. So you always say that. Just one second. Yeah. Yeah. So you always have the feeling that most of these media organizations are biased. So that's why we have our own, see, people developed our own media. So we became citizen journalists. So you actually disseminate news with your social media platforms. And you can see that more disseminated, the number of news items disseminated through social media is very high these days. See, people use social media, I mean, for news and other things. They depend on social media rather than they are spending time on newspapers or magazines or television channels. Okay, and now we have sorry. So now I would like to share some best practices which you can actually implement in your organization, so that the all these things will actually help to inculcate the what you call the culture of innovation among your students. So they will come and ask you, so why we have such a competition? So why we have a talk on intellectual properties, or why we have a workshop on innovation? So people also, I mean, students also will think about all these things, and they will also come to know about innovation and startups, so that you can you can nurture the culture of innovation in your campus. So the first and best one is Ideathon as a site, as an arts and science college. You can say it's better, like you always have these ideas in your mind. So converting into a prototype is the secondary thing, but always when you have an idea, please do promote ideas. So conduct ideathons, I mean idea competitions. So that will help your students, and also they will have a kind of you are kind of motivating, you'll be able to motivate them. And talk on intellectual property and patents, that is another thing, important thing. So when you have an idea, so people can steal your ideas these days, it is very easy. So an awareness about protecting your ideas, again, that is very important. Then leadership talk series, workshops on innovation. Then you can have my story sessions, that is like from the innovators or entrepreneurs. You can just listen to them, their first-hand experience. That is again an inspiration for your students. Then interactive mentoring session, so try to interact with your students. So they will come with ideas, so kind of promote them, motivate them. Then session on business model. So if people always have ideas in their mind, and they don't know how to put it in a business model, so that is again another important thing. So then again, a session on angel investment, like so when you don't have money, so there will be angels to invest for your product. That is again another interesting session. Then expose an exhibition, so that people will come to know about innovations, entrepreneurship, and all. So as Dr. Rashmi said in the beginning, the saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. So I would like to show you a video. With that, I would like to conclude. Tell your students innovation is very simple, but the thing is that always remind them it is not that easy. You will have to face n number of problems, but still, if you have an idea, of course, it will succeed. So thank you so much for your time. So now we are open for your questions. If you have any questions, you can ask now. So hope you all got at least some idea about innovation, startup, and things like that, and also introduction about IIC. So you'll have more sessions on different topics, of course. So this is just an introductory session. If you have any questions, please ask me.
Thank you, Sonia, madam. It was a very nice lesson presentation. There is nothing much to ask actually. It was so clear, crystal clear. And thank you so much for the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any questions? Thank you, Sonia ma'am, for such an enriching session. So now I invite Dr. Rajini Jacob, IIC President and Mentee Coordinator of Marthoma College, to propose vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, all. Respected Dr. Sister Gigi Jonamma Xavier, Principal, St. Xavier's College, Aluva. Respected Dr. Sujo Mary Varghese, Principal, Marthoma College for Women. Respected Resource Person of the Day, Ms. Sonia John Markose, Innovation Ambassador and Social Media Champion of St. Xavier's College, Aluva. Respected Dr. Sister Stella K. IAC President of St. Xavier's College, Aluva. IAC conveners, Dr. S. Revati and Ms. Jonis VC, and IAC convener of Mahatma College for Women, Perumbaur, Serin and Assam, Mentee coordinator from St. Xavier's, Dr. Shiba V. Rajan, program coordinator, Dr. Rashmi Varghese, and all other IAC members of St. Xavier's College and Mahatma College for Women. First of all, we like to extend our sincere thanks to the principal and the entire IAC team of St. Xavier's College St. Xavier's College Aluva for selecting our college as a mentee. We started our IAC activities since January 2021. We conducted few orientation programs, workshop, and few competitions as per the IAC calendar last year. And we had got a star rating of 3. Also, 6 of our faculty members attended and completed the Innovation Ambassador training program organized by the Innovation Cell of Ministry of Education. And we had got an ARIA ranking of a tag of band performer this year. At the beginning of the IAC activities, we had no clear idea regarding the implementation of innovation ecosystem among our students. But this year, we are fortunate to have St. Xavier's College as our mentor, a 5-star rated college. Thank you once again, St. Xavier's. Let me come to my duty. I thank Dr. Sister Jija Jonamma Xavier, Principal St. Xavier's College, for the wholehearted support and guidance for this Mentee program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sister. Dr. Sujo Mary Varghese, Principal, Mahatma College for Women, Perumbaur. Madam is a constant source of inspiration for us. Thank you, ma'am, for spending your valuable time with us. Let me thank our resource person, Ms. Sonia John Markose. Madam has delivered a beautiful and inspiring talk on the topic Reconfiguring the Culture of Innovation. Started with the functions of IAC and the duties of Innovation Ambassador. And ma'am has very well explained what is our role in nurturing the innovation among our students. We extend our sincere thanks to Ms. Sonia ma'am for being the resource person for this orientation. Thank you, ma'am. Now I thank the Mentee coordinator from Xavier's, Dr. Shiba V. Rajan, for organizing this program. Ma'am contacted me many times and took a great effort to arrange this orientation program. Thank you, ma'am. I thank Dr. Rashmi Varghese, the program coordinator of this orientation session. Thank you, Rashmi, ma'am. I would like to extend our sincere thanks to the IAC President, Dr. Sister Stella K., and the IAC conveners of St. Xavier's, Dr. S. Revati, Ms. Jonis VC, for supporting us. And also I thank the convener, Serin and Assam, the convener of IAC of our college, for supporting throughout this program. I thank all the IAC members from St. Xavier's and Mahatma College for Women, Perumbaur, for attending this orientation session. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajni ma'am. I thank Dr. Sujo Mary Varghese, Principal of Mahatma College, Dr. Rajni ma'am, and all the IIC members of Mahatma College for your valuable presence. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.